Go ahead, Dan.
Coach Stan Savage at OrlandoMetric.com. Obviously a tough night for the group defensively. What were you seeing from the unit on that end of the floor?
Kyrie Irving. At the end of the day, that's what it was. He was comfortable on the floor, and he's a great basketball player, and he that's what he did tonight, and he showed it. So, you got to just tip your hat to him, tip your hat to the team, tip your hat to what they've done, and he's a special player, and that's the reason why he is who he is.
When a player like that gets going, gets comfortable, just how hard is it to take them out of the rhythm once they get going like that?
Well, they do a great job of spacing the floor, putting them in different spots. There's times he's shooting over 3 people, shooting over 2 people. You try to get a double team. He's smart enough to understand when he can go and when he cannot go. He's balancing his way in which he can do it. He goes fast in transition, so you can't speed up. You try to deny him. They're setting back screens and hitting him in the right direction. So again, he's crafty enough. He's seen every coverages, and he knows how to play with a pace that makes it hard. But again, your hat has to go off to them and what they've done. But again, our guys fought in the second half and just try to continue to just keep going no matter what's happening. But again, your hat's off to Brooklyn and what Kyrie did tonight. You have to.
It seemed like early on, Franz was the most, involved, or I guess he was making the most decisions, this felt like, for most of the month. Did you guys set out from the beginning to get Franz more involved offensively?
Well, no, I think, Franz is just looking at different opportunities to try to score and to try to facilitate and make things happen. Obviously, they're switching again, caused some problems early, and then Franz was able to turn the corner and get downhill a few times and then spray out and find shooters. But again, we're talking about being aggressive, and each guy we want to be aggressive. Again, just having to go back and look at the film and see exactly where the situations occurred. But his decision-making was something that, we're going to continue to keep asking him to do.
Before tonight, how have you as a coaching staff, but also speaking with him, tried to find that balance between, him being aggressive, but, also learning to play with, you got ball handlers like Markel and RJ coming back. Like, what balance have you guys struck with that?
Well, just trying to find times where they can facilitate for one another. Right? Like putting those two in action together, helping them understand the plays that they can make for each other. Like if a couple times he sets a step up on Cole, slips out to the basket, gets the layup at the rim. But again, those things, turning the corner in the pick and roll with Dell, but also being able to find guys throughout the game.
Specifically, do you almost want him to, I guess, be more assertive with getting his own or getting to the rim, just to create more for himself or others?
Well, no, you constantly just want guys to make the right play, the right decision, the right basketball play. And, Franz is trying to do that as much as possible. Obviously, there's going to be nights when he's going to have to get downhill and attack the basket more, which we talked about being more aggressive to attack the rim. But also having guys continue to make the right read and the right play so we can find guys getting open shots.
Jay Serrano, Orlando Magic HQ. You mentioned coming back strong in the second half. What do you think is the biggest challenge with keeping the team motivated and keeping them second half, and when you get down such an early deficit?
Well, just understanding we're not going to quit. You can't give in to what, Kyrie was doing. You can't give in to the scoreboard. You have to continue to play no matter what's happening. And our guys are, again, you learn lessons in wins, you learn lessons in losses, you learn lessons in blowout wins, you learn lessons in close losses. Whichever way it seems, we have to take this one, learn from it, understand what we can do better, and bounce back the next game.
Okay, you actually kind of touched on that. I was going to ask, what are the key points or the key strategy points that you're taking into Thursday, given that the next game is so close?
Well, we'll look at the film and try to figure out the situations that we find ourselves in, whether that's the pick and roll coverages and or transition defense, taking care of the basketball. There's a ton that we're going to continue to look at, but again, we'll have to, study it, understand how we can improve, and the scoreboard is what it is, but you can always learn from these situations on what we can do better next time.
All right. Thank you, Coach Mosley.
Thank you, guys.
Go ahead, Dan.
Franz, Stan Savage, OrlandoMetric.com. Obviously a tough night for your group defensively. What were you seeing on that end of the floor?
I think we let them get in a really good rhythm very early on. And, easy threes on the pick and rolls, getting back in transition when I got a bunch of easy ones at the rim. And then after that, I think they're just really hard to stop when they're already in the rhythm.
You mentioned the rhythm, Franz. For a guy like Kyrie, especially when he gets comfortable and in a groove, how hard is it to disrupt him and take him out of something like that?
I mean, basically after the second half, after the first half, we wanted to, get the ball out of his hands for the rest of the game, and that didn't really work. Tried to double team whenever, but like I said, like players like that, you just can't let them be comfortable early on, and anyways, like good defense, bad defense, sometimes they just make them. But definitely we got to work on, how we guard, especially for the first half of the game.
Franz, from a ball handling and decision making standpoint, especially early on, it felt like the most you've been involved. In a few games, did it feel that way for you while you're playing, especially in those first 3 quarters?
I mean, I tried to be aggressive. Every game is a little different, so yeah, it's really all. In the past couple of games, sometimes didn't make the best decisions, but it's really cool to have coaches and teammates that trust you.
And how's the adjustment been for you personally? Just learning to play with Markel and getting RJ back, getting more ball handlers back and healthy. How's the adjustment been to your role and how coaches are looking for you to play?
I mean, I'm just trying to play the right way. I think everybody tries to do that on this team. We know that sometimes it's not about right now, but what happens in the long term, and that we prepare for that. And I don't really care what happens necessarily, what type of stats each person has. It's more about if I have the impact that I can have on the game, however that's needed in that moment.
Franz, this is Melissa Thomas with Florida National News. Obviously, you got the next game coming up Thursday. What are some of the key things that you want to focus on and improve upon to get ready for Thursday?
I think we should. We want to get back to playing physical defense. I think we did a really good job, especially coming out of the All-Star break. Played against a lot of good teams. Forced a bunch of turnovers that we really did in the first games before the All-Star break, and I think that helped us move the ball on offense and get some easy looks, and move the ball really well. I think today was more about defense, I think, but I think that will help us on offense as well.
Anything else? All right. Thank you, Franz.
Thank you.